Giovanni, you're going to answer that? Nope. I recognize the number. Nope, not picking that up. Nope. Is that the Reggio Audace manager? He is calling you again. Nope, Nope. 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 That's right, my friends. Our stadium has been delayed 4 months to October 18th, 2036. I guess, stuff doesn't get done on time in Italy. I guess. Are they going to delay it again? It just seems, you'd think you'd get a little bit more of a heads up than like, hey, it's July 2nd. Hey, stadium's not ready. But my friends, we will get there eventually, and I do have some amazing photos. We had somebody in the Discord travel to Reggio Emilia for work, and he took photos of like lots of stuff. I want to show those as we debut the new stadium. So we'll get to that in maybe next episode. But I know you weren't really interested in the stadium. I know why you're really here. You want to know what's going on with Wim Bollen. So, my friends, I know that's why you're here. So we're going to go straight to it. He's still with Novara. We sold him to Novara. He's on 1.9K a week. He's got a year left on a contract that he signed last year, I guess. What a legend. He's not played over a 6.77 the entire time. He was playing Serie A and giving us a 6.77. Or no, he went to Novara in Serie B. Okay. Yeah, then they get relegated. They came back up and then they got relegated. So that's what's going on with Wim Bollen. So I bring you back here, my friends. We are going to use part of this episode to catch up on some of our former players, because I've had lots of people come out, hey, what's going on with Locke or Marius or, some of those folks. So we will definitely do that. And that's partially because not a whole lot going on in the transfer window. We have a bit of a financial crisis. Not crisis, but, when you are starting the season in the red, that kind of cuts your transfer budget down pretty significantly. So I enjoyed the comments last episode. We had people saying, I rate Ken Loose, and, this is why you don't trust star ratings with Boateng and all that kind of stuff. And I don't disagree with, some of those comments. I was really torn because it's like, well, we could sell Colombani, but Colombani's like a club legend and a patron. But he is making like something like 10 million a year in wages. So that would help. But Boateng, I don't think is necessarily, like, he's not that stud signing we thought he was going to be. So he's not necessarily ready to take over for Colombani. We'd have to go find a left winger. And can we find a left winger for, less than what we sell Colombani for in wages? Like, you start doing that math. I thought we could sell Ken Loose. The only problem was I signed Ken Loose to a new contract like in the middle of last season, but it kicked in at the end of the season. And anytime that happens, it's like, I just signed a contract. I don't want to go anywhere. And no one wants to sign it because it's like, you just signed a new contract. He doesn't want to go anywhere. And it's like, shoot. Because I did feel like Ken was probably the most available option, right? Because we have depth at midfield. We have a really good youngster I want to show you too. And who else do we have that we could have gotten rid of? Dos Santos, even Joaquim. But Joaquim had a good season. I was just really, really, really torn. But we sold one of them. So I'm just going to show you all of them because there's no need to hide our feelings. What's done is done, my friends. And we'll do the champ. We'll do this, and then we'll check on some old friends, and then we'll do the Champions League draw. This season primarily is going to be Champions League and Coppa Italia. Just giving you a heads up. Like, we're rapidly approaching FM21, and I would like to see if we can make a run in one of those competitions while still doing our jobs. So it's not going to be exclusive, I don't think, but I may do more of the, like, here's some highlights of recent games. Right? Yeah, I got one to show you later too. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we sold Facundo dos Santos 60 million to Wuhan in China. He was worth 64. He's now worth 47.5. I was just, he takes up a non-EU slot. He had an amazing season last season, or the season before last, and he had a mediocre season last season. It just really couldn't get going. And I thought, yeah, we only paid 12 million for him. That's an opportunity to take a big profit. Aston Villa was interested, and they would not go above 45 million, even if I was like, you could pay the other 15 million 3 years in the future, in segments, and we'll do add-ons and whatever. They're like, nope. And they wanted to go there, but Wuhan offered 60 million, and it's like, I don't think you're worth 60 million. I mean, the game valuated at 64, but just based on recent performance, I mean, he's got potential, right? He's whatever. But he doesn't enjoy big matches. He's very interested in a loan, which is hilarious. I don't want to come back as a transfer, but if you want to loan me back. Now, he's got 3 goals and 3 assists and 9 starts. So go on, Facundo. Enjoy, man. My hope was we would sell Facundo and be able to go find that really amazing prospect that, Joaquim, I think, has earned the right to be our starter. But I want to have that, really, 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 really good youngster underneath. Didn't really happen. There's not. We've been going back and forth with RC Lins. I don't know. You'll also notice. I mean, this is the massive news. Obviously, John Short. We sold him for 11 million to Karabakh in Azerbaijan. He's had 1 league start and conceded 1, but he had 6 continental starts with 5 conceded, but 3 clean sheets. So he's doing well. I mean, now it was just one of those things where, we now have a, 18 or 19-year-old that's a half star less than John, but I could go get 11 million for him. We're trying to solve a financial crisis, okay? We sold one of our 6'6" center backs. He just hadn't really made it. Sold for 120K to 1860 München. He's worth 2/3 of that right now. That's great. Was a Syria Chi player. Just, you're like, why are you showing us a guy you sold for 120K? It's because we needed money. Okay. We have loaned Hope Oladapo to that club. Guillaume. Why has it got an S? I don't know. I don't know this club, to be fair, to be clear. I mean, it's clear that I don't know the club. Do they have a name? Do they have a name? They don't have a name. Oh, is it Sporting? Sporting Guillaume? Maybe that's what it is. They the up and down bouncing club, and now they are solidly in 12th, or they finished last season in 12th. Yeah, they're giving us 1.7 million. I would have liked more, to be honest with you, but we got 375 last spring from Cologne. So it's a pretty, even if you doubled that, that'd be 750. So, we got an increase. It's not a massive amount of an increase. He's worth 13.75. But I did think it was important to get him first team minutes. He wasn't going to get first team minutes. He's 21. This is a real development opportunity for him. He did really well last season with Cologne in 12 starts. Yeah, on a 703 in the Bundesliga. Not bad. So we send him to La Liga and see how he does there. And he continues to develop. So we've kept one of our 6'6" center backs, just not at the club. You could borrow him for a little bit. We sold Rene Gall to Dynamo Kiev for 5 million. He's now worth 10 because they're paying him 30 grand. Congrats. Just wasn't going to make it. But I think this is if back in the day when we were a smaller club, right? This is good business, right? You buy a player for 2.1 million, you get more than 2.1 million in loan fees, and then you sell him for 5, I think is a good deal. So he's gone. I still think it's a good deal. I'm really still irritated about that one loan because I don't think it counted. But we've loaned Peter Moita for $100,000 a month to Atalanta, so it keeps him in Italy. You know, he has 306 days left to get his homegrown nation, which is important. And he's still got some really good potential, but, you know, he needs more game time. So we went from 300K last year to $1 million. He's now playing Serie A. So I think that's quite good, to be completely honest with you. And I want to say he's a regular starter. That's what it is. And Hope was, I think, a regular starter as well. But let me check that. You never know. You never know. Sometimes you get nervous. You're like, did I actually triple check that? Regular starter. A little bit of a knock. He's fine. Groin strain. Come on, son. Come on. Oh, and a lot of these, I'm not going to go back and look at all the contracts, but I tried to say, like, they have to play regular starter, you know, lock that red. They have to be, you know, in these guys' case, central or defense center, or defender center, and, you know, more specifically ball playing defender. So at least we can yell at them if they don't play them there. And then we've sold, or no, we're not sold. We've had poached from us Marino Marinelli, who was one of our youth prospects that literally just came in. They gave us $1 million for him. He's also 6'6". I wasn't too, you know, his potential, like, you know, we could have held on to him for a little bit and sold him for 1.5 or something like that in the future. But like, they're giving us something like $35,000 per, like, I still don't understand when the youth player gets poached, not before youth intake, but after youth intake, but before the first contract. What is the math that dictates what you get? Because they are literally giving us, hold on, what's his name? Marinelli. He was down here. $35,000 for the next 40 league appearances. That's like another 1.3 billion. And 325 if he has an international appearance, and 50% of the profit on the next transfer, and they gave us $1 million. I think it's a fair deal. I just don't understand how the math works. So that's a bit odd. We'll get back to those guys right there on that screen here in just a second. So 80 million on the out, 0 million on the in. We have loaned a striker / right winger from Man United, Fernando Finta. Do you see why I thought it might be okay to sell Facundo dos Santos? I had my eye on this guy. We're probably not going to be able to buy him because it's Man United and there's no minimum release clause. And if there was, it'd be high. So I could be wrong, but I mean, he's 2.5 stars. So you're like, oh, wow. Okay, this screen gives us a good snapshot of why I thought this was okay. We've got Colombani still is our best striker and our best left winger. So we play Colombani on the left, Joaquim up top, but this gives Lorenzo more opportunity to play now because Lorenzo might take some of Boateng's minutes on the left. He's backing up Pedrelli on the right. If Colombani's playing and Joaquim needs a rest, Lorenzo can play up top. And we also have this Fernando Finta guy. And I also want to point out Mirko Bettini, 2.5 stars, and continues to improve. He's up to 9 finishing. You guys are like, put him on winger. I'm like, nah, it's fine. He's back. He's a wonder kid. Let's go, Mirko. Let's go, son. Up to 18.25 million. So I thought this made it okay. Like, we have enough rotation options at the attacking third. You know, right? Pedrelli and Lorenzo, even De Silva, even Paul Kufner can play on the right. I would say we're probably the weakest on the right, or maybe the mid, you know, the attacking mid. But I felt like, you know, this is all right. Now, he's fairly susceptible to injuries. Oh, not milestones, injuries. Yeah, fair. But here's the deal. We're only paying 28.5K for him. So we've saved money on the wages difference between he and Facundo dos Santos, who's on like 80 or 88 or something like that. And we got 60 million for Facundo to bolster our bank balance. Now, like literally that's the only in. Like literally. You see the screen. That's the in. So let's go back to the transfer center here. We have been pursuing Vegan Yakupi, who isn't amazing. It's always good when you start things like this. He's 2.5 stars, has 3.5 star potential, but Kluge has some interest from Bayern. had some interest in Bayern. Now it's Napoli, Real Hispalis, and Milan. So I'm thinking like, honestly, I was thinking if Bayern was coming back in, we'd be like, you want to give us 30, and then we buy this guy for what is it? Half that? That's good business. The only thing I'm concerned about is somebody, I can't remember who left the comment last time, but about us being a little green, a little green to win the Champions League, or the Coppa Italia, something like that. Like, we're young. And so if you look at the squad here, Kluge is 27. He's one of our older players. I mean, tied for third oldest player. We are not that club with 30-somethings running around. And he's got really good determination. He's fairly determined. He's fine. The only problem is his contract's up in a year. When I think Bayern came in, one negative. That's hilarious. When Bayern came in, his agent was like, he wants a new contract. And I was like, let's extend him. Sure. And they wanted like 91 grand. And I was like, nah. So I'm kind of thinking between now and December 31st, we have to sort this out with somebody to be the left back, and we sell him. Because I'm not going to pay 91 grand to the guy that's 2.5 stars and the backup player. Although he's done great, right? Like, if you go back to Kluge here, he's done great for us. Giving him 15 appearances, some of those being starts, and he's given us over a 7 the last 2 seasons. So, like, I'm not unhappy with him. I'm just not willing to pay 90 grand for him. So that's in the mix. We also had another one we were pursuing, but we couldn't force him out. Then we've signed this guy, and this is probably a mistake, but we've only paid 2.5 million plus like a sell-on fee for him. He's either-footed though, and when you look at it, we could be as good as Bettini 4.5-ish stars. I was more excited if he was coming in the summer. He's not going to come until January. He'll be 18 by then. His concentration's poor. I just thought he's either-footed. It's a bit of a flyer, but if we could bring him in and get him into some mentoring and like really improve him, we might be able to sell him for 15 million in the future, right? Like, or maybe he's the next Facundo dos Santos. We sell him for 60 million. I don't know. But I neglected to notice that he was going to come in January. So that's kind of disappointing. We are also oh, it's not going to show us, is it? I want your thoughts on this guy. I usually don't do this, but I want your thoughts. Where is he? He's a striker. Oh, it's the Linskin. This one. Ababakar Sar. Sorry. He's currently worth 9.25 million. They want 56, and I'm like, no. And I've made him our top target. And I've had Colombani and De Silva say something, and he wants to join, and there's a rift in the locker room, and I'm offering something like 20 million, or I don't know. Let's go see what it was. No, this is their counter offer. What was the previous offer? I offered them 30 million, 25 million, some up front, some in installments, and 5 million in add-ons and a percentage buy-on clause. He's 18, like literally 18, not going to be 19 soon, like 18. And I think he's a gem. Potential 5-star talent. Now, for fairly susceptible to injuries, sure. But, we're taking some risks here. But I just thought he was all around really good. And he would also provide some cover on the right side because he's left-footed. But we don't have 56 million. And I'm not paying 56 million to a guy who's not really proven, right? Like, he's played 2 seasons at Ligue 1. And that's it. Not even full seasons. Probably because he was injured. He's on a 6.53, so I think he's performing poorly because he's upset. And so I'm hoping that they're eventually like, just get out of here. But what I think is going to happen is Aston Villa is going to come in and offer 56 million. And it's going to be like, really? So this is one of the reasons why we don't have another signing, like a striker, because I was trying to get this guy, and I'm still trying to get this guy. And even though we sold a player for 60 million because of the 30% transfer revenue, they bumped it in the summer. I think it was 15, and now they bumped it to 30. We only have 14 million to spend. So I can't. It is what it is. That's why we went for the loan option, right? So we now have 77 million in the bank. Well, that's good because we're going to spend all of it. We're going to spend 2.875, every week. So that money is going to disappear. Projection wise, we actually end the season with some money. That's good. The transfer budget isn't anticipated to go up. See, I'm kind of disappointed in this window, to be completely honest with you. But like I said, I want to show you some former players here. I really thought we'd have another in here, especially with, when I got 11 million for John Short, I was like, oh, here we go. We're making a difference. We're impacting the bank balance. Lothar, I thought was interesting because I've looked at some of these. 130 grand. He's worth 62 million. I mean, he's a squad player. He had 11 subs last season. But I mean, whatever, man. You go get paid. Good for him. 7-1-1 in the Premier League. I don't care if it's subs or starts, right? You doing all right. But Sony not doing great. We're not going to look at these guys not doing so. I mean, we don't have the league loaded. Who else was there? This guy, I had him on the loan list, and our loan manager loaned him to IFK Norrköping, and he's actually done all right. It's like their season is not the same calendar. 8 starts and a sub on a 7.0. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Fabrizio Manzi. Let's go back in time here. This is fun. Maybe so. Is he still around? Yes, still with Fiorentina. That's just great. How did he do last season? 681. That's not bad for a center back. That's hilarious. Serge still kicking on. Last season, only 17 appearances, 12 of those starts, 3 goals, 2 assists on a 7.22. But he had 7 starts in continental Europe with 2 goals on a 6.85. A bit of a drop off. Did he get injured? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Tore his thigh muscle out for 2 months. That'll impact your capability of getting on the pitch. Makes sense. I think I knew that, didn't I? Yeah, we probably reviewed that, and because we played them, and I forgot. Oriol. Honestly, I forgot about Oriol. Still with Beijing. Still on 325. Still rocking the league. Good for him. That's crazy. And I know they've changed that rule, right? In China, it's like I can't remember what all the stipulations are, but like the ability to go buy players and pay them €1 million a week or whatever is no longer, or something like that. If you know what's going on there, leave a comment so I sound slightly informed, but you can sound even more. We lost out on the buyout or the sell-on fee for Christian Messina because he got released on a free. Grandi, I can't believe this, is on 110K a week and still kicking around with Milan as a fringe player. Now, he had 2 substitute appearances, like without enough time to actually have gotten a rating last season. I just think it's great. Like he's still there, helping out that homegrown nation, list, which is hilarious. We'll get to Locke, and there's Marius. Marius is actually doing quite well. 42.5K, up to 10.5 million. They paid 1.8. Cagliari's like, well, we got one over on Reggiano. 34 starts, or 25 starts, 34 appearances, 3 goals, 7 assists on a 7.12 last season. Go on, Marius. He's actually a tiny little player. It's pretty good. Not at our level, to be fair, but like, it's not terrible. Not terrible. Here's Locke. Also went to Cagliari, is with FC Lorient, who got him on a free. Maybe not working out as good. But it was over 6.8, right? Comes on a free, learning the league, learning French, and then they got promoted. So, how you doing, Locke? Doing all right? Fantastic. Joel is still at Pisa. Joel's still at Pisa. Oh, Giroud is the other one I was going to show you. Those are the most recent ones. Bergeron, I looked up, is still at Liverpool. Pascal Giroud is with Saint Etienne. Lazio sold him on for just a fuzz of a profit. He's doing okay. Doing all right. Bergeron is still a backup for Liverpool, not getting any appearances. He's like the guy behind Adrian, which, considering what happened against Aston Villa, might be a dangerous place to be. Bitter. Oh, and Maximiliano was the last one. Still on 350. These actually listed. I was like, 34. I'm like, nah. But you want some attacking midfielder coverage? Let's take a little scout report. It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying. Maximiliano and Viviani, the American, is with Cruz Azul. Sold him for $9.5 million. He did all right, and then they sold him for $475,000. That just seems odd to me, but he's doing all right. And then Pablo Baltodano. You remember this kid, the American kid we had that we didn't think was going to make it? He's worth $12 million at Galatasaray on $40,000 a week. We sold him for $220K to Columbus, who traded him to Seattle, who sold him for $2.9 million. I don't know if that's good business because who knows what they traded, but I just think that's kind of interesting. You know, we loaned him out several times, trying to get him, you know, his Italian homegrown and give him opportunities. Mentals are actually quite good. Technicals, not so much. Mentals, quite good. Classic American player, if I've ever seen one, my friends. Goodness. Hello, my friends. This is Editor GHG. I realized as I was editing this that I didn't do any of the end of season awards or kind of the news updates that come out. I was just so flustered by our financial situation. So let me go through some of the screenshots that I saved, because again, I've stopped saving it as a separate save file because it takes up a lot of room and it's faster just to drop screenshots in over. I think it's over here. Okay. So first off, this is on May 31st. And this is after our Champions League money came in. So as you can see, still in the hole. Tad bit of a problem. Champions League money was this. You can tell 16.61 and 13.04. So essentially almost 30 million in money. And then we paid out 1.7 million on a pro rata basis to the squad for making the quarterfinal. So we get to keep the rest of it. That's good. Here's our commercial summary. Okay. I was quite pleased. Look at the sponsorship. That's up 5,500 or million, something like that. Corporate and hospitality was up a little bit. Match day and commercials up. Broadcast down just a fuzz. Obviously, competition prize money. We made the quarterfinals. Great. Good stuff there. And then total merch sales up to 19.45 million with non-domestic sales accounting for 12.67 million. Well, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. 419,000 shirts. Da Silva, Padrelli, Paul Colombani, Ibrahim, and Joaquim in the top. We had Da Silva and Casapa make the call-up list, okay, for the Copa America. Here's our Euro call-up list. Emery, Silva, Luz, Rene Gall, Padrelli, Ibrahim, Jose Carlos, Israel, Joaquim, and Gunesh. This is when we got invited to Portugal. This is what it said, which this is a first that I remember. So as you can tell, this is still in last season's because it's pulling. It was really kind of really threw me off. It was pulling up last season's schedule to be like, this is when you would be going. But I'm like, but that's last season. Like, why aren't you pulling up this season's schedule? But anyway, again, the tour will help raise our profile in Portugal and could be lucrative in terms of merchandising and sponsorship. That's just interesting. I've never had it recommend a tour to me. Felipe Neto is the Serie A best defender of the season. We set a new attendance record after breaking the last attendance record by just 62 extra. I don't know where we found the people. We stuffed them in there. That's good. This is also interesting. I wonder if it's because I have set up tours in the past before the technical start of the new season. And since I didn't do that this time because we got invited to Portugal, it actually let me choose, you know, like the preseason start date, where like you could choose we're going to have a 4-week preseason or a 3-week or a 5-week or something like that. I've not had that option for like a long time. And so that was a bit weird, but like, yeah, you can choose. And then this was the note on the stadium being delayed that they let us know on July 3rd, you know. Great. So that's your news and updates. And I still didn't do the end of season awards, did I? Oh dear. Hold on. I also thought this was a bit of a bug. Champions Cup reach first preliminary round? That's not right. Weird things are happening this many seasons inside of the game That has been fixed now as we've gotten. It's like, yeah, you need to reach the, first knockout round or whatever. But like the first preliminary round is not the round that we're in. So that's weird. Let me go see. Do I have a save of the end of season awards? Let's go look. Well, I did save it. So this is your last chance, I guess, to pause and put who you think the signing of the season and the player of the season and the young player of the season are. In 3, 2, 2, 1. Not a big shock. De Silva, Neto, Colombani. Goal of the season going to Colombani. Signing of the season going to Putrelli. And young player of the season, De Silva. De Silva can no longer get the young player of the season. He will age out. So we'll get a new one next season. So that's exciting. But, it's not really surprising. De Silva with 33 involvements in goals. 20 of them scored himself. Now, how many of those did he have were penalties? And that's in the Cup and the Super Cup as well. 6 of those... No. Wait. Is that he made 4 of 6? Is that what that means? So 4 of his 17 goals being from the spot. But that's okay. He's, got a 14. With a 14 finishing. That's fine. But quite pleased. Joaquin, 18-1. Pedrelli, 16-9, did come good. Okay, hands up. Okay, I was a little upset at the beginning because I expected him to just be lights out from the beginning, but he came good. Colombani with 20 total involvements, 12 goals, 8 assists. I just love the man. He's not changed either. He's not done anything with his hair. It's just the same. But he's in 22 goals. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's not all competitions. Okay, so last season, 22 involvements. This season, 15, but also 5 less games. So, no problems. Dos Santos with 10 and no assists. Lorenzo with 7-7, quite good. Boateng with 5-2, needs to improve. Bettini, probably my 3 favorite goals of the whole season. Ibrahim with 3-4. It's just overall pretty darn good. Most minutes goes to Casapa, followed by Contreras, which I thought would be a center back instead. Jose Carlos, Neto, and Gunesh filling it out. Average rating, there you go. De Silva on a 7.26. Bettini, again, 373 minutes, but a 7.2. Not bad, son. 7.2 also for Neto. So there's your updates. Enjoy. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Here's how we started the season. We actually got invited to Portugal. Not by, I don't think by a particular team. It wasn't like a league. It was like, you've been invited to come to Portugal. Like, was it the Portugal Tourism Board? I don't know. Like, come to Portugal, and like it noted this would be amazing for like merchandising and like, I don't know, it was like reputation. Something that was like, come to Portugal, and my whoever assistant was like, good idea. So it's kind of like doing a tour without calling it a tour, I guess. Like, we didn't set it up. The Portuguese Tourism Board set it up. And so, because we were tight on money, we made about $1 million or 1.1 million hosting the Summer Money League with Atletico Madrid, Juventus, and Ajax. And as you can see, we won it. Yeah, we did. I'd already set up one. This is before, like when the season starts and it actually opens up the whole calendar. I'd set up beforehand another one because I was really trying to make sure we could get some big clubs. We were going to call it the Red Bull Summer League because we had Salzburg and Leipzig and AC Milan. And then when it went to the new season, I think this is a bug, FM. When it went to the new season, the 2 RB clubs fell off, but I could not cancel this. So we had a friendly called La Liga di Soldi, which is the money league, I think, in Italian, with just AC Milan. And it didn't say we won it or whatever. It was, it's just like I've discovered a new bug. So, as you do, beat Roma 3-1, gave up a goal in the 39th minute, and really saved it to the end. It wasn't looking so hot. But, hold on. Let me show you this finish from Fernando. You know what? Let's watch all the goals. Let's just, as you do. Let's sip my coffee. It's too easy. Like, no one went with him. Bogdanovic playing the attacking mid. It's now like that darker green. He doesn't know it exceptionally well, but he knows it. I thought that finish was kind of good right there. Slots it home with the left peg. Jose Carlos De Silva, who had slid over to inside forward. Contreras with the header. Nice. Is this the one that I thought was really good, or was it the Man United guy? It was the Man United guy. I thought he kind of like outside of the foot finta did, but he came in off the bench, gave us our first goal. I guess no complaints. It wasn't as good as I thought it was, as I remember, but we're doing all right. We have good company, lots of teams. I mean, it's 2 games in, so let's go ahead and do the draw, shall we? We are 4th in the coefficient table. All right. Liverpool's not in the coefficient table. We are the first seeds. We're 4th in the first seeds of the coefficient table because Liverpool's coefficient is much higher. Arsenal's is higher. Atletico Madrid's higher. Salzburg is higher. We're higher than Bayern, though. Are there any third seeds that... No. Okay. So let's pull the pots here. I mean, when Real Madrid is the worst of the second teams, and they're below Eintracht Frankfurt, which is this club here, and this is Bayern, that's a tad bit surprising. Let's see who we get here. Not Atletico Madrid. Yes. It's sad when you're saying yes to Bayern Munich. All right. We would like Monaco or Porto. We already beat Porto. We can go back. We know the area. We know the good restaurants around the hotel. Porto's still an option. Wolfsburg, Sporting, all within 2 points of coefficient. Probably not. Oh, back to Porto. Nothing too terrible there. And then Feyenoord at the very bottom would be the dream. Copenhagen, Celtic. That'd be all right. Feyenoord. Rangers. Okay. That's better than Fenerbahce. All right, let's take a look at these groups. Barcelona. Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter, Dynamo. Which Dynamo? Yeah, just Dynamo. That's right. I always get, with the Kiev, it always gets Benfica, Frankfurt, Monaco, Napoli, Lyon, Liverpool, Sevilla, Celtic, Leverkusen, Salzburg, Young Boys, Shakhtar, Man United, Milan, PSG. Good luck, Copenhagen. Holy. Bayern, FCP, and Rangers. That's also, of the historical bigs of the save. Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, Wolfsburg, Fenerbahce, Standard, Liège, Madrid, Sporting, and Feyenoord. Which group do you think is the most difficult one? I'm thinking group, or not the most difficult one, but that's pretty challenging with those 3 teams, and that's pretty challenging with those 3 teams. This is pretty challenging with these 3 teams. Is there a group where you're like, wow, there's 4 really good clubs there? Maybe these are relatively even. I mean, not from a coefficient standpoint, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Let's see who we get first, because that's what you're going to come back to next time, my friends. This has been a real weird transfer window episode. I'm just going to say. Fixture arrangements. We host Porto. Porto Rangers coming up next, my friends. What do you think of our chances to get through? I've got to think we got a pretty good chance to get through. And it's literally going to be, just as a peek into the future, unless something really weird happens, Porto Rangers, Bayern, Porto, and then maybe like Milan Porto, if Milan is up at the title, because I think by that point, if we've gotten through, then we can skip Rangers. Oh, we get either Pisa or Ascoli Picchu, which theoretically are winnable games. And then Inter again in the Super Cup. So the next episode after that would be the Coppa Italia with extended highlights. Trying to balance it out, but I mean, who knows? Maybe the first half is extended highlights, and then we've smashed them once. We can move on. Again, from an overall scheduling standpoint, it is a little spread out. Inter, but started by Torino and Parma, then Napoli with Bologna and Parma around it. Juve, AC Milan, Atalanta. Those are pretty good teams last season. So, but it's not like we don't have currently. Here's 5 games in a row of the top 5, right? So that's good. All right, my friends, I've rambled enough. Thank you so much for watching. This has been really weird because we have nothing really to show you for the transfer window. I am really curious what your thoughts are on selling Facundo dos Santos. At least we've helped out the bank balance, and I really want the stadium. Like, really want the stadium. When's it come in? The 18th? So not next episode. But it'll be right before we play Bayern Munich. Maybe that's why that's away. So then our stadium opens, and this is the first Champions League game in the new stadium. Come on!